You know, sometimes you read a passage in Scripture and you think, what a ludicrous request Jesus made of God, that we may all be one. Look around you in the world. How much oneness do you see? Not much at all. It's even hard to define a puzzle as one. Does it include the frame or not? And we could debate about that. Believe me, I discovered that that was a part of being up here this morning. People say, is it hard to preach? I said, no, that's easy. It's the talking to the kids. That's the hard part of my week. You never. So, as I listen to this, I begin to wonder, it would be very easy as an outsider looking in, and sometimes even for insiders looking at us and the world, Jesus prayed for us to all be one. Now, you can pull out a verse in there that says, I'm not praying for the whole world, I'm just praying for these you've given me. And even we can't be one. A couple of years ago, the United Methodist Church, ununited. We schismed. We've got the Global Methodist and the United Methodist. We can't even be one. We can't even be one. It starts out, if you really look at the history of the church, and we're not going to spend a lot of time here because this is not a church history lesson, but the first few centuries of the church, it was not one church then. If you went to Alexandria, Egypt and worshiped Christ, it looked like one thing. If you went to Rome, it looked like something else. If you went to Corinth or Philippi, every single one of those cities worshiped differently. They ate together or didn't. They did everything differently from each other. So how were they even vaguely one? Maybe the church has never been one. So what was Jesus talking about when he prayed that we'd all be one? Was it aspirational? Was it that he imagined if we worked hard enough, toiled day after day, pushing that rock up the hill like Sisyphus, only to have it roll down on us every night, and we have to push it up again tomorrow? That's what it feels like when we're trying to bring unity to the world, and even unity to the church. How many hymns should we sing on Sunday morning? I know congregations that want to sing 6. I know congregations that want to sing 3. Sometimes we have 4. How many anthems should the choir sing? 2? 1? 0? Do you have a choir? Do you not have a choir? I mean, all of those things are all things that we can't seem to agree on. Should we pay more money for the building? Should we pay more money for mission in the world? What happens if we don't pay for the building? It falls on us. What happens if we don't pay for mission in the world? We're not the church anymore. So there's all these different opinions. And so we may think, what a pipe dream Jesus proclaimed. And people outside of the church often say, you guys proclaim unity, but you don't do it too good. And that would be fairly accurate. That would be fair. Now, Doolin is, of course, an exception. You all are totally on the same page about exactly how we do everything at every moment together. There's no difference of opinion about anything here. But just think of some other churches where there's a lot of disparate people who think different things. I don't know which ones they are, but just imagine. I know I'm asking for a lot of imagination. The truth is, maybe, this idea that we could all be one was not something that we were meant to aspire to. It was something we were meant to learn as we got closer to Jesus to recognize. We have so much more in common than we do different. Whether we have different colored skin or not, we are still human. Whether we're from different religions or not, we are still human. We all have blood. And we all bleed, for the most part, when our blood hits the air, it turns red, for the most part. There are some exceptions. All of that is our commonality. In the West, particularly since the Enlightenment, we've come to think of ourselves as individuals, separate from one another, completely separate from one another. And so what you do and what I do, it doesn't matter if they're completely different because you're you and I'm me. That's why we got this idea. Jesus never was really completely about personal salvation. The idea of just personal salvation, as if one of you could be saved and the rest of us might not be, would not have made sense to a first century Jesus. It does in a post-Enlightenment world. Some of you could be saved. Some of you might not. What Jesus envisioned was a community that recognized we're already part of the oneness of all things. You may feel like an individual, and you are, and your individuality is beautiful. One thing that's clear about God, God likes diversity a lot. It's all about diversity with God. Look at all the birds. If God wasn't into diversity, they would all be blue and orange. You know, the colors of UVA. No, they would not be. But have you noticed robins have sort of a reddish coat, and they all essentially look the same. But you throw in a cardinal. Oh, the male cardinal is bright red. The female cardinal is hiding a little bit by being more to blend in. Everything is different. Look at platypi. I mean, my goodness. God is creative. God's into diversity. God likes difference. God made it from the very beginning. We're meant to live into that difference. But that difference is all together. When you hold up a tapestry to the sky, let's not even do a tapestry. We've got all sorts of beautiful things we could talk about it. What would happen to this beautiful feeding of the 5,000 if everything in that window were blue? The same color blue. It would have some outlines in it, but it would lose its character, the beauty of expression. Do you know how those clouds came into being? They took blue, different colors of blue, and they painted acid on it. And that gave it that billowy cloud feel. It's unique, and yet it's all one picture. If you just took out one of those panes and held it up, would you know what it was? No. But put them all together, and it's a gorgeous picture, a story encapsulated in one frame, that because we can see Jesus holding a bunch of bread and some kids reaching up for it and a bunch of people around him, we can kind of get the sense. This is the feeding of the 5,000. If you took out the cloudy, one of the cloudy ones, and I held it up for you right here, you just looked at the clouds, it could be any day. It could be anywhere. So there's both the particular and the one, the relationship, the connection. And maybe instead of aspiring to be one, because I don't care how hard you work, you are never going to think exactly like everyone. This is not about becoming copies of each other. When I was a little bit more, when I was younger, how's that? I was trying to think of how to describe it, and I was in college. There was a Christian artist named Steve Taylor, and he sang these really edgy, progressive songs. And one was making fun of churches that try to make us be clones. And the name of the song was, I Want to Be a Clone. I don't want you to be clones. And guess what? It doesn't matter what I want. God doesn't want you to be clones. No two of you are exactly alike, and God likes it that way. It seems a little wackadoodle as an idea to me, but to God, that's the way God likes it. Beauty, diversity in all kinds of ways, and gathering it all into one. The problem is we don't recognize it. We are so busy defining ourselves by our differences that we lose track of what makes us one. What makes us one is that the Spirit draws us into one. What makes us one is that we're part of this great oneness. First, a oneness of a community that we call Doolin United Methodist Church, part of the Falls Church city community, the littlest city, maybe not in the entire world, but certainly it's a wonderful thing. Or is it littlest town? It's littlest something. It is the littlest city. Is littlest a real? Yes, it's a word. Okay. It's superlative too, so there must not be any littler cities anywhere in the world, because we're the littlest one. But you go beyond that and you get to the state, you get to the nation, you get to the world, but then why stop there? If God is really God, God's not just the God of this world. God's the God of the universe, which means the God of the galaxy and all the other galaxies, and there's a whole bunch of them. We keep finding more. God is really big. But all of that, the entire universe is one. No matter how far to the edge you get, there is one universe. It's infinite, but it's one. And you're part of that oneness. I'm part of that oneness. So, to draw on the first half of this story, what we are meant to do is to glorify God. Would it surprise you? Jesus said the word glorify a lot, so I thought, this must be important. This entire text, I didn't count them, but he said glory or glorify a lot. Do you know what the Aramaic, you wondered when I was coming back to Aramaic, this is an Aramaic test. Do we need to review? Is there a review quiz we need to do before service begins? No. This word is one we've not talked about before. The word in Aramaic for glory also means to shine. When you think of glory, you think of people that like to pat themselves on the back and tell you how great they are, or who wear a lot of medals, or do something that makes them look, who lift them up above everyone else. The word glory means to shine. What are we supposed to shine with? The light of God. We're meant to shine with the light of God in such a way that the world sees that light. When Jesus says, glorify me, he may have said, what he really means is make me shine. And not make me shine with Jesus' glory, make me shine with your glory, so that others will see you. And the disciples are meant to also shine, so that they can glorify Jesus and glorify God, so that the shining love of God, the eternal shining, reflects through us. It still seems like a pipe dream, though, doesn't it? I have never known society to be, now, I've only been around for several decades, the number of which I refuse to disclose to anyone. But I have never known a world more divided. People on any side who are more certain that they are right and everyone else is wrong. I have never been a part of a world where everything seemed so divided. And you think it's a pipe dream. Do you know when Jesus prayed that we would all be one? It's part of the farewell discourse. And he prayed it with his disciples on the last night of his life, right before they were about to abandon, deny, and betray him. Scatter to the four winds and disappear. And Jesus prayed in the face of such division, knowing it was possible in God that we could be one. It may not feel like it. If you watch any news at all, it may not feel like it's even possible. It doesn't matter which side you watch either. Both sides say we're broken, beyond fixing, and it's their fault, whoever they are. It's always someone else's fault. It's never our fault. We don't take responsibility. We could talk about that at great length, but we're not doing that today. We're not going there. Human beings not good at taking responsibility. It's always someone else's fault. It's mine if I did it right. It's your fault if I do it wrong. It's always someone else. Another sermon, another day. In the face of the brokenness of it all, like Jesus' whole mission was about to fall apart. He was about to be killed. And the people he thought would carry the message forward, it was kind of iffy for a while there. It wasn't a foregone conclusion. Just like being dual in church is not a foregone conclusion for you. It's not. You can come to church here on Sunday morning, go out in the world and just do whatever the heck you want to, and you're not really necessarily being dual in church anymore. But if you carry the love of God with you and you shine a little bit in a way that glorifies God and Jesus, if you shine a little bit, then the world will see, and then you really are Doolin Church. You don't have to shine by getting on your desk at work and preaching a sermon about Jesus. For some of you, that may be very good news. I could do that. I could get on my desk in my desk in my office and preach, and probably Katie thinks I do that sometimes when she hears me in that room. But for most of you, that's not what it looks like to be Doolin Church. It just means being kind to your coworkers, to people you should run into on the street. It means not accentuating the negatives, but encouraging the positives, recognizing that everyone you meet is loved by God, and recognizing that you are one of them. You are loved by God. And then there's a kind of shining that happens naturally. It's God's love that shines in, through, and as you into a world that needs it really, really bad. When my daughter was little and she got over Marching to Zion as her favorite song, one of her favorite songs was, it's a country song. If you're not a country, and I'm not singing it, was by John Barry. And it's a song called She's Taken to Shine. She's taken to shine. She falls in love. Rosie is the person. It's a story song because it's a country song. They're all story songs, and oftentimes they're about dogs or fences or pickup trucks. This one was about a diner, and Rosie worked there, and she didn't have any real connection. And then she fell in love. I don't think we ever learned the name of the guy. Doesn't really matter. She falls in love. And then the chorus is, she's taken to shine to him, becoming the woman that she'd never been. Now, I'm not saying women aren't themselves until they meet the right person or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying when we fall in love, and in this case with God, and take a shine, then we carry that shine into the world. You get to shine for Jesus wherever you go. You get to shine for God. You get to shine for Doolin Church as representatives wherever you are, whenever you are, whoever you are, in your own unique, special way. And that's the oneness that draws us together. Take a shine. Take a shine into the world. Let that shine be the glory of God, so that others will meet through you what God really looks like. Embracing, encouraging, loving, hopeful. It's hard to hold on to hope. And yet Jesus did. For us. For us. So my charge to you is go into the world and take a shine with you. And be Doolin Church. Be Doolin Church. Not as a building that's cool with beautiful stained glass windows and a lovely organ and awesome music, but Doolin Church where love reigns, where being a caring congregation is not something we say on Sunday morning, but it's something we do with our every breath. A kind, caring, loving world. Do it. That's my charge to you, and it's my charge to me. It's hard work being the church, and it's hard work shining all the time. But we get to do it. Isn't it exciting? Woo! Okay, maybe not woo. There you go. It's time for us to confess that we're not always unified in all those kinds of ways. So I'm going to invite you to join me in our prayer of confession. Let us pray. God of unity, we confess that we divide what you have made one. We cling to differences. We hold on to judgment. We turn away from one another. Forgive us, heal what is broken among us, draw us back to you in love, and teach us to live as one. Amen.